Hey everybody, Rob Gauthier, the ET Whisperer. I wanted to jump in here with this new Galactic channeling this week. This one's a little tricky because it talks a lot about history, and this part's a little murky. There have been puzzle pieces throughout the entire time, different types of information that Treb and Aridif have shared about our past. But what I understand is the Elohim came to Earth and worked with humans after the Anunnaki did, and they didn't come alone. They brought a couple of other races that helped them, and one of them was an angelic-like consciousness, and it seems to be like this race is probably them. It seems to be that these beings are part of my old Galactic monthly channeling when I was doing the monthly with Remiel, and when I did that channeling, I think that what they're saying here is that this is pretty much the exact race, but a different being, not the one that calls himself Ramiel. And him calling himself Ramiel was actually a very contested thing because he's not an archangel being. He's a different type of consciousness, and I have no clue how he can say I'm the same name as an archangel. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of Michaels and Raphaels that still live on Earth, but it was just something that was kind of contested and not necessarily really a happy response by some of the listeners to that. But it's still an amazing channeling, and this being, I think, came through my own consciousness way better than the other one did. So it'll be nice to hear, even though it's kind of a repeat, it's not. They give us a lot more insight on some of the things that happened during that time and whatnot. So I think it'll be beautiful. I really appreciate you guys really driving for the algorithms with your support, comments, liking, subscription. If you want more information about what we're doing on a bigger scale, you can always go to etwhisper.com. You can check out our Patreon, and if you're interested in our Patreon, hang out to the end of the video. And that's about it, guys. I really just appreciate all of you being there. I hope you love this channeling, and I send you guys all my love. Love you guys with all my heart, and I'll see you guys next week on the other side.
Greetings to all, this is Aridif, that is A-R-I-D-I-F, and this is its spell. We understand that all of you desire to co-create with a galactic, co-create collective consciousness more deeply, but before diving in to that deeper form of co-creation, there are, of course, the two things that we have always expressed. The first, above and beyond all things that are expressed in this day, to know, to feel, and to perceive that you are loved, in our perspective, is of the utmost importance. Secondly, it is our greatest excitement, and within that same form of great excitement in which we co-create with you, not only in this moment, but through all moments of your linear time perspective as well. So now we will express the entities in which we have co-created and brought forward to co-create with all of you as well. The entities that have co-created with humans previously, but done so at a very lengthy time of your co-creation. A group of avian entities who worked deeply with the Elohim, the last being who co-created with you from this race, preferred to be expressed as Ramiel. But Ramiel, the entity that is known and expressed as the consciousness of archangels, it is not the same being. This entity is from an avian race working with the Elohim that goes by the name of Onate. And this entity specifically is not the same consciousness from the Onate that we have co-created with the human collective consciousness previously, but does desire to express their own co-creation with you. One moment.
Hello. It is a pleasure to be able to speak with the human collective. It has been a long time, my child, my children, our children. You were once very, very deeply under our wings, with puns intended. We had
Human beings learn from us. They saw us as the angels of the realm. They saw us as the winged creatures of God's messages and carries, and we know that the Elohim did some things that were abusive to humans and some things that manipulated the construct of your desire to worship gods and worship other beings. But we had always only taught you the things that were required to learn. The 10 commandments of the Bible that you have are not actually 10, but are over 130, and those were teaching you as humans not to kill yourselves by eating raw meats of animals with hoops, with trachea worms and blood-borne pathogens, and all of the things that humans were doing that were disgusting and that also didn't help them. So we taught them how to light the fires and keep the meat cooked. We offered them how to clean their own urine and feces out of their campsites. We taught them many different things, and with the Elohim representative that humans called El Shaddai, we brought a contract of good things to teach humans, and we were the ones who taught them. Humans say avian beings, yes, the kind with beaks and with blue feathers. No, that is not the same. That is not our race. That is nothing that we know of that have been communicating with humans. What we do know is that humans communicate with avians that look very human but have wings, that have lost most of their plumage and lost most of the feathering cover and kept the wings. We have only 20% of our body holding plumage, and the plumage is not exactly like the feathers on Earth, but it's colorful enough and long enough to know that it's much different than your animals. It is consistent more with decorative clothing. Messengers of God must look good, yes? So, that is the difference, and our faces are very humanoid-like and very human-like, with exception of the shapes of our eyebrows and noses and mouths and eyes. Humans look very humanoid, and we look very humanoid, but not like humans. There are very few words to describe the main effect of differences with the different beings that exist in the galaxy, especially when humans have been only limited to very, very few. So it is important for you to know that we helped guide you. In our very earliest interactions with you, our main objective was guidance and teaching and helping to keep you under the wings and to not allow too much manipulation from the Elohim beings who came to Earth and caused some problems. The Elohim also taught humans a lot of things and taught them so much about internal development, but also suppressed much of the growth possible. The Elohim were very divided with humans. Some of them wanted to only teach you what was best for them to teach you, and others wanted you to have full freedom. Very similar to the race that they came after, the Anunnaki. And the Anunnaki were the beings who originally tried very similar things with very similar storylines. This is why some humans believe that the Anunnaki and the Elohim are one and the same, but they are not. They are not the same. They are much different, and both of them with recognizable differences of physical appearances and also energetic principalities. So, it is a very important part of that aspect to share with you now, that we still watch over you, but we do not interfere. We cannot interfere. We have given our word to the Elohim, to the Pleiadians, to the Arcturians, to the Sirians, and to the Andromedans, that we would not interfere. And now we would never wish to cause some of the harm that we did. Humans are very different in how they perceive other beings. So humans say, these beings did harmfulness to us once, they must be evil. But I tell you, over tens of thousands of years and a few of the generations, between those times and now, between 500,000 years, at the earliest interventions of 2.4 million years with human beings and Anunnakis, there is much to learn. So as a soul who grows and a soul who adapts and develops, it's not only humans learning in your incarnation and dealings with yourselves. All of the races that you have ever communicated and ever worked with and ever learned from don't feel the same that they did the first day they started working with you. You saw this with the race of Elohim and the Anunnaki, just with their differences on how they started and how they ended. So that was something very important for humans to be able to grasp and to understand and hold and know. So it sends me with a great delight to tell you, we still look over you, we still give you support and love from afar, but we cannot make the same mistakes that we once did a long, long time ago with you. So, goodbye.
I wanted to thank everyone in our Patreon who helps support me have the free time to do the extra channeling here. If you're interested, go to ET Whisper Patreon, which is patreon.com/ETWhisper. $22 a month, you get access to 2 different channelings per month. One where everyone sends in ideas, we put it in a poll and vote for it. The second is a Q&A. Everyone sends in their questions and their desire of Aridif or Treb answering it, and then we ask the questions, and then we go through them randomly, and whoever's questions get picked goes there. So if you want to be a part of that to get access to that extra stuff, and you want to help support us get more content out on YouTube, the link is in the description. Love you guys. Thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you on the other side.